Hey YouTube, as the title says, we're going to go over a lot of stuff in this video, and very little on the team, because the team is Muck, Double Dark, Mandibuzz, and Annihilape are very good in this meta, both weak to Fairy. I had Muck as one of my 7 Pokemon I could use, so I put it in, and we're going to start right off the bat with the Legend, and you're going to see here that this Legend completely throws this to me. I'm almost positive this is the one. I haven't even looked at this video, but I remember only one Legend threw to me today. And it was one where they had like 100 energy on Skarmory, and they just did not throw a move. And then I farmed them down, and they took it down. So I'm pretty sure it's Adoalphus. Pretty sure this is the one. Let's actually just go over this battle, and then I'm going to talk about Legends versus, because I posted this on Twitter. So terrible lead, come in Mandibuzz. They stay in, which is fine. I'll take a Scald. I came in Mandibuzz a lot as a safe swap. I don't know why. Annihilape is a way better safe swap. They catch on Mandibuzz here, so that's already going terrible, right? They chip me with Scald. They caught a Dark Pulse. They're going to be able to keep Switch if they want. So Muck's going to do terrible against... Muck is going to do terrible, so I need to like now rely on Annihilape to try and sweep. So like I'm in a bad spot. And what you're eventually going to see is I'm like, okay, I got to go Annihilape 2 shield to try and win, and I just throw Night Lashes, and then they eventually just like farm to 100 energy and don't throw on Skarmory, and I was just like, okay, appreciate that. Appreciate that win. So let's talk about one of the things in the titles: Legends throwing versus not throwing. So I even said this on Twitter, Legends are under no obligation to throw matches, and I and others in the expert range are under no obligation to expect them to throw, right? If you want to hit Legend, you hit Legend just beating people like everyone else does. Okay, that's out of the way. This guy has a Mandibuzz, Shadow Whiscash, and a Shadow Skarmory. So let me just pull out the PV Poke rankings here just to see what we got for rankings. And you got Shadow Whiscash at 23, Skarmory. Shadow Skarmory is actually worse, 47, but regular Skarmory is at 9, and Mandibuzz is at 13. I mean, I have Annihilape, which is, new number 1. Interesting. New number 1 ranked. But then Muck is a 327th ranked Pokemon. So they throw 1 here, but then they like let me farm them down, and I'm just like, why? They definitely have 2 moves here, and they don't throw. I'm like, okay, that they're just being nice, and then they let this go too. So I was just like, okay, thank you, Legend. So if you hit Legend, and I'm coming at you with a 327th ranked Pokemon in the what is objectively the worst cup, and you throw, you're a good person, and I appreciate it, and I'm sure others will as well. Again, you're not under an obligation to throw, but I get why people, like, if you're playing GBL the last 2 weeks and you've already hit Legend, you're probably doing it for dust, you're probably doing it for wins, to get maybe like some counters, stuff like that. So again, you're not under any obligation to throw, but it's appreciated. I ran up against the same Legend twice, the one with Venusaur. I ran into them again today, and same thing. They just like beat me again, just relying on like Venusaur, Gligar, and I forget like one other. So I'm just like, okay, that's great. Okay, what are we supposed to do? So then that's throwing, not throwing. In terms of what I mentioned yesterday about this cup, so I said a couple things, and some people watched the whole video, and other people just commented without watching the whole video. And I said a couple things in the thing. I was the first to admit that I should have, even in the video yesterday I said this, I'm like, I should have kept good IV Pokemon, and I will do that next season. Again, someone even said, like, you know this is coming, like, you either keep good IVs or you hit Legend beforehand, so this isn't an issue. 100%. Like, I've already said that. I said that in yesterday's video. I know. I know this is my fault for just not playing hard the first little bit of the season, running into like one of the worst stretches of my life at like the 2500 range for like 4 or 5 weeks. And then here we are 2 weeks left. I haven't hit Legend yet, so I need to hit it. And now I'm stuck with like no Pokemon. So yes, that's on me. Next season, I will probably just keep any top 15 ranked Pokemon, because you're going to see coming up, like, IVs on Manabuzz aren't amazing. I caught a Gligar today. I powered it up. So that's the next thing I want to address here. And again, this is something that I said in my video yesterday. Someone's like, where's the 14 million desk comment? I don't know if I can find it off the bat here. I can't find it off the bat. But someone's like, dude's crying because he has 14 million dust that he doesn't want to invest. Just use the dust. And I said in yesterday's video, like, I would use, like, I don't want to use it because I've already got, like, again, I already have 3 Glygars. I built up a 4th today to use tomorrow. I don't mind using my 14 million dust. I don't use a lot of my dust often because, again, if you've seen my level 50 Pokemon, I have very, very few level 50 Pokemon because I don't have a lot of hundos and I don't have the XL candies to build them up. So I have a lot of dust. So people are like, oh, you're a cheater, stuff like that. How do you have so much dust? How do I have so much dust is I've been playing since 2018. And I, for the most part, except for COVID, I was working in the office 5 times a week in a very, very populated city, 1 million people, where lunchtimes we like went out and grinded. So like I've had like millions and millions of dust for a long time. And then again, I don't power up level 50 Pokemon. So I am fine using my dust. I'm fine using my candies. Like I will build up a 4th and 5th Pokemon to hit legend. Like that is not the issue. The issue is not having them. My fault. But again, the issue is this cup. I don't think that people seem torn in the comments about this cup. They're torn about like, I hate this cup. It's so bad. I'm taking this week off. You should take this week off. And then the other half is like, I love this cup. I always grind there in this cup. This is the one time per season I feel like I have a huge advantage. So it's like, again, it depends what situation you're in. But again, I'm gonna do this next season. We'll see what my rating is next season at this point. But what I'm gonna do is next season, I'm just gonna keep like 20 to 25 of the top Pokemon and build them all up during. Again, I don't care. I don't care if I have to drop 4 million dust. Next Catch Cup, I'm going to keep the top 25 Pokemon that I catch during the season. If Catch Cup is a thing, which I expect it to be because this has been very similar. I'm gonna keep them all. I'm gonna build them all up, and I'm gonna ram through at people next season just to show that it's not an advantage for newer players. It's an advantage for those who want to build up Pokemon and who have the resources to do it. And that was my argument, right? Yes, theoretically, it should give newer players an advantage because they may have built up stuff this season as opposed to me who've built up stuff in the past and maybe I don't want to do it. But I can do it. And I will do it just to prove a point. And my point is this week does not reward anyone except those who are willing to make a resource commitment over a 3-month period. That's my argument. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. The rest of you said too much lag these days. I tried to play the game completely froze. Yeah, I don't. This isn't Niantic knows. Niantic knows that this is an issue, right? Because they have addressed it for the regionals and the championships. They have at the regionals and championship. They have made players turn off their GPS, turn off the avatars, turn off the backgrounds, add people as a friend, and play and battle through friends to bypass the very, very well-known lag issues. But someone laughed at my comment. Why would we fix bugs in a game when we can have a pretty background? Like that's essentially what Niantic is thinking. Like they've never cared about GBL. And it's very frustrating as a GBL content creator. And I get it. Look, I can see just with people in Ottawa, right? I have the luxury of also having Poke Daxi in Ottawa, 25 minutes down the road from me. And you got a guy with 500,000 plus subscribers. Again, I think he does so many things right to be one of the best in this game, right? He grinds every day. He does the short videos. He gets to the point. One of the things I always hated was these guys don't post as much anymore. But like when Trainer Tips and Trainer Club and Mystic and all those guys used to put out like, oh, there's new news. Here's a 25-minute video of me doing 21 minutes of like eating and nothing, and I'll do like 3 minutes of the news later. Poke Daxi is like, here's a 2-minute video on the news that you need to know, and that's why he's always been. He started on YouTube, he started on TikTok, great for shorts, stuff like that. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because Poke Daxi also does GBL, but his GBL videos do the worst because the player base, unfortunately, for us GBLers is 90. I would say if I had to guess of the entire population that plays Pokemon Go, I would say 90% are just raiders, collectors, travelers that do not play GBL at all. I would say the base that actually plays GBL in some capacity is like 10%. I would say the base that focuses on that stuff but also plays GBL is like maybe 2 to 3%. So like your Poke Daxis, your Brandon Tans, they play GBL, they upload GBL content, but that's not their bread and butter. Their bread and butter is out grinding and doing all these other challenges and traveling and meeting people, stuff like that. And then I'd say like 7% of us are here primarily for GBL, and then because we love GBL so much, we then go and grind and rank and catch stuff and do legendary raids to do the best we can in GBL. So my player base my viewer base is small to start with, but that also means for Niantic, why would I care about a 7% hardcore crowd when I have 93% that cares about the other aspects of the game? And again, these are just made up numbers, but that's essentially what it is. Like, I would say that Niantic is probably right in this. I bet you GBL is probably, again, I have known nothing about coding. I'm interested to see that in the future because I did take this is very off topic. I did take like a coding course in high school where we had to like build a game, and I basically built like a Sims game through coding where like you had to do some stuff and you get your health meter goes down and you need to eat. I basically just copied the Sims and I built that. So I know some coding. But I've got to imagine that the coding for GBL is significantly harder than it is for raids, trading, catching, that stuff, right? Because there actually are mechanics in this game that require certain things to happen in a certain order when you press functions in, and it's all like simultaneously going on. So why would they put any effort into GBL when it's such a small percentage of the user base, probably the highest resource on their end? And again, I don't agree with this argument, but their argument is the more time that you're playing GBL, the less time you're out raiding and grinding and catching and doing all the stuff that Niantic wants you to do. So if you're playing your 5 sets for an hour and a half, that's an hour and a half that you're not out there grinding. Of course, my argument would be it wasn't many people outside of the GBLers that was doing Registeel a couple weeks ago, because this is Registeel's like 20th time back. There's nothing of importance for Registeel when it comes to raiding. Like it's not a raid Pokemon, it's a collector Pokemon, and it's a Pokemon that is very dominant in GBL. So it's us GBLers who are out there grinding those raids. So I never bought that argument that, oh, those people who just play GBL don't really bring in like the part of the game that Niantic wants. Like, yes, we do. Like, we're out there grinding for IVs. We're out there grinding for XL candies. We're out there grinding for like Pokemon that have no relevance outside of like shinies for some people, because freaking Charge-a-Bug and stuff are top meta Pokemon. Like, so I never agreed with that. Yeah. So those are my just thoughts on a couple things there. Again, this league, this one, same thing. Oh, boohoo. Finally they put out something to even the playing field for new players temporarily. And you're crying about it. Again, yes and no. Like, again, I will next. I'm just so pissed. Again, I'm not pissed at the comments. I'm pissed that I'm in this situation, but I'm just going to show the flaw in everyone's argument. I'm going to catch, like I said, I'm just going to bank the top Pokemon, and I'm going to build them all up, and I'm going to run through GBL next season. And I'm going to be like, see guys, this is not leveling the field. This is rewarding those who put in the dust this season. But when so I put out 2 videos today. History of Mew. 9 out of 10 on the views. 1.2 after 7.5 hours. 7.8% click-through rate. 656. Down. At the same time, I hate this cup. I hate this game. I hate Niantic. 5,000 comments, stuff like that. And I'm like, oh, I get Poke AK. I get Poke AK. And I get all these clickbait TV personalities now who just make their personality being angry and complaining about stuff. It really, really drives engagement, and it drives clicks, and it drives comments, and it drives likes, and it drives subscribers. And that video, I hate this cup, has more than my top teams video, has more than my prediction for next season, has more than any team I put out last week by a mile, and the comments are like 3 to 1. And the subscriber growth on those is quite good compared to my other videos. And I'm just like, oh, don't, again, this is just the analytical stuff and just like looking at how the world works. Again, this is my analytical brain coming out. Again, for those of you who are new here, hello. For those of you who've been around for a while, I'm a now manager. Got a promotion because I've been killing it at work. But I am basically a analyst for the government, where you are required to critically analyze everything, right? So I need to like criticalize anything, and so I like numbers, I like information, I like everything, and I see the views and the comments and the numbers on this video for the title and putting rant in the thumbnail on a weekend when my weekends are always my worst. And I'm just like, oh, this is annoying. I can't make this my personality, but man, I should probably do more rant videos because they get clicks. It's so annoying. Anyways, that's just a side. Again, I will not become a rant channel. I'm becoming an educational channel. And again, if you missed my video yesterday at the ending, 18 minutes in, there's probably only about 10 of you out of the 100 left. If you missed my video yesterday, we have this afternoon Umbreon history of, which I think is interesting, but very, I think, educational videos for GBL coming Monday and Tuesday. Defense versus stamina, what's the difference, and how to use those combos to find really strong Pokemon on Monday. And then Tuesday, how I team build and how I understand the role of a Pokemon and all that stuff. So that's my channel, right? This rant stuff went off. Just random teams or whatever. But I think the most people learn from my channel are going to be those Monday, Tuesday videos where I go in depth on the importance of certain stat products and Pokemon and how to team build with them to actually maximize GBL. So stay tuned for those videos coming up Monday and Tuesday with, I haven't looked at them yet. Again, I'll use Gligar. I don't know what my third, it's going to be Annihilate, Gligar in the third. I have Quagsire. Do I have another team already? Because I thought I used Quagsire today. I thought I used Quagsire, Annihilate, and something. But I forget what the third was. I did. I used Annihilate, Quagsire, and I forget what the third was. But now I have Gligar. So I'm just going to go full meta and just try and run to the legend and just be like, see what happens when you just get meta Pokemon? Anyways, that is it. What I was saying is, like, I saw a few other, I get an email notification saying that someone submitted battles to your link in the description. So I got a couple of those. So I know some people have submitted battles, so I will most likely check those out and showcase them over the next couple of days as well. So stay tuned for that. anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.